lessons out. So, why together? I have only 15 minutes. Number one, increased learning. Earning, sorry. Told you that shan't me somewhere along the line. So, when the two of you combine your resources together, let me see if I can quote you the research. I try to behave like those of you who've been to school. So, a study conducted by Laura Pilosoff, it said that a couple that put their earnings align their visions and their financial planning together, there's a 32% chance that you will earn far more than your peers in your workplace. Do you want that extra 32? Yeah, I want it. And in fact, depending on what you do, it can actually go beyond 32%. You actually have the possibility, the opportunity to double your income, your earnings. So, opportunity that you are sitting with is like you are sitting, what do you call it, in front of a bowl of water, but you are thirsty. You are sitting in front of a well, but you are thirsty. I suggest to you, please take advantage of this opportunity. Two of you put your wealth together, you will be far better than your peers that are living individual lives. I've been told time, so I'm going to run through this. Number two, you become more resilient. You become more resilient. You have somebody who will support you, won't chip out. You know that I just remembered. Joe, what was the tree saying for increased earnings? Where you mimi sika? Woo sika? Yeah, sika. Mimi sika? Yeah, mimi. You see, and when you take that position where we think, and anyway, I'll get there. Better physical and what? And mental health. My own experience, because my wife was supporting me, Charlie, I could go about as a man down. Young man, city, I was driving her vehicle at that time. Fortunately, before I became broke, we had actually decided that we'll be driving her vehicle. So there was no difference. Nobody could tell. I had sold my vehicle. We decided that I should have a vehicle and then we'll drive in one car. Not because we could afford, but because we were so busy that the only time we could get to talk was when we were driving to work. I was going to drop her in the office and then go and pick her and come home, go to church, and then from church, come home. So abrabon dani ne hono bi because car no, I know the same car. Interior mission no. Na me too kind rough. I was traveling to do this, but see, better fiscal and what? Stable income. So that's the exact example that I've given you. Your life is not going to today you are rich, today you are okay. When your child comes to ask you, Mommy, I want to go from there. No. Meanwhile, you were buying Coke before. But now, Coke, 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 5 cities. And I 3 cities. 10 cities. Then the church, come on, you cho. Gas here. Oh, gas here. Bob Monday was hard here. Oh, my father-in-law, please forgive me. Okay, so let me move on because I've been signaled that I'm running out of time. I'm very passionate about this. Most of us are not building our wealth together because of traditional gender roles. That's the example I gave. The man is the one that has to look after the woman. So, medium your bow. There was a point in time I told my wife that the children, the school they go to, we have to change the school because I can't afford the school fees. She says, for where? I want my children to go to that school. I'm paying. But you choose that. Hey, look at him. Look at the school our children are going to. But you are earning money and you're hiding it somewhere. Because you've been trained that the man is the one to pay for school fees. No, this is actually one of the issues that prevents. So, and sometimes it's not even just the women. The men have pride. Except me, I'm school fees. School fees, I just have been bema. No, and yes, school fees, the joints being together is what will make you a true husband or a true man. Do you say yes? Hello? And the people who come to me for counseling, I tell them that, listen, there may be traditional rules, but I suggest to you that the two of you should sit together and decide what roles you play in your house or your family. So it could be that I'm good at sweeping. So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll sweep. You may be good at bringing in, so your job may be bigger. So you bring in money and I'll wake up at dawn. The last session I was sharing a story that I had in one of my businesses that I had to close down. I had an employee that was living in the home with the mother and the father. I mean, he was married. The mother and father were there. He decided the wife was a nurse and was going to school. So she'll wake up, she goes to school in the night, comes home very late. So they decided that the man will wake up at dawn and then, clean the house before he goes to work. He was in business in my organization. This guy comes to me, what is it? He should divorce the wife. Because she doesn't understand why the woman wakes up at 4 a.m. and her in-law is sleeping till 7 a.m. You see, and these are the realities. These are really the realities that we need to deal with. So until you get to a point where you decide that you're not going to allow tradition or third parties to determine what the two of you are going to do, you may end up having issues. We need to start working on ourselves. I'm very passionate about this because tradition is drawing us back. There's a verse in the Bible, GP7, I think it's somewhere in Mark 7. He says that the traditions of the people, it makes what you're doing of non-effect. It makes the word of God of non-effect. Chocolate for you. What chocolate? It makes it non-effect. So you realize that, Charlie, the word is coming, light is coming. You are sitting here, you are hearing the word. You are convinced by the time you leave here, but then tradition hits you. Me a bema. My crossing me 9. Number 2, financial literacy. And I can't overemphasize this. That educate yourself financially. Read. Talk to people who will help you understand. You may not know, but that's not a problem. Speak to people. Trust. How many of you were at the trust course? Listen, we cannot overemphasize trust. And if you haven't been for that trust course, I'll definitely do the trust course again. You should be part of it. Why should I put my money with you if I don't think I have a future with you? You see, so until you deal with the trust issue, it will be very difficult. If I don't trust Robert, why should I go and carry my hard-earned money and come to Robert so that he'll be using it to chew apoku? That fish is called apoku, Anna. Opoku. Okay. I thought infancy is apoku. Infancy is apoku. I'm not right. I'm not wrong. Apoku infancy. So please, this is a course that you must attend because you need to grow trust between the two of you. And then finally, divergent expectations. We come with different expectations into the marriage. And if we are unable to align those expectations, now it becomes different. You see, and if you're careful, if you don't deal with these issues, financial literacy, trust, your divergent expectations. Me, I'm the firstborn family, and my parents me that I should be looking after what do you call it? My siblings. My wife doesn't believe in that kind of thing. So now I have to take the money and hide it. Or I'm totally against having any form of joint financial planning because I have an agenda. Maybe I worry and you catch them and say, hey, mommy, if you say, oh, be see dying well, true. True. No, some of us get bad and we just hold on to that advice. We hold on to, so you come with different expectations that by the time I'm married, then Bemana in 2 years won't talk mommy, won't whom me PS. Then Obana on to me. So you come and there's a fight, there's a conflict. And at the end of the day, you cannot use emotions. So I suggest to you, let's deal with this appropriately. Traditions, financial literacy, trust, and what? Divergence of. This verse, only GP7 will read this verse for me. GP7 pe. No, sorry, na mon kind mami. GP7 mon sorry na mon kind mami. Now, then, are you a professor? You look like a prophet. The prophet will give interpretation. So 1, 2. What? That's my prayer for you today. That when the two of you decide that you are going to do something, may the Lord grant it to you.
That's my prayer for you today.
May it come to pass in your life.
Two of you decide
He says that as long as the two of you agree, you harmonize together. As long as the two, you are like a symphony. More tone, more year be or more different. You know, sometimes you become so unified that when they see, they say, oh, more semu. Haven't you heard that before? Yeah. You speak like the person. Listen, if you watch, those of you who are very observant, you realize that I do my things a lot more like my big brother. Why? I lived with him in fact, he looked after me. That's something. I'll talk about that later. Let's do a wow for him. Wow. So there was a day when I called him for an event in my company, and he was supposed to speak. When he was speaking, my employees were saying, I thought Mr. Jackson said he wasn't going to speak at this event. Why is he talking? But it was Joe who was speaking, not me. When you live together in a very, I'm not punishing you, please. The way you're looking at me, Patrick was looking at me. I'm sorry. Okay, so you can only win as long as you don't have any malicious intent. The Lord will bless you. He says, if you ask, it will come to pass and be done for them by my Father who is in heaven. May it be done for you by my Father who is in heaven.